Ling Shaoqi's is one of them. Ling Shaoqi's disciple once every day has a chance to challenge. Every 5 days have a chance to be challenged once. The strength of the two sides of the battle must not differ by 3 levels. It is not low to avoid war, and it is not low to fight and violate the door wall. The winner rewards the corresponding contribution points according to the opponent's disciplinary level, and the negative party deducts the corresponding contribution point according to the level of this disciple. This is the characteristic of Ling Shaoqi. In simple terms, the contribution points are equivalent to money in Ling Shaoqi. As long as there are enough contribution points, you can exchange anything you want: medicinal herb, weapons, and young man logistics. All those related to cultivation can be exchanged. Of course, can also be exchanged for gold and silver, but in general, the value of young man contribution is not easy, and the general disciples are reluctant to exchange gold and silver. There are also many ways to obtain the young man contribution value. You can get a certain contribution value by paying young men on treasure seeking income or completing the tasks given by young men. One of the most common and simple ways to get the contribution value is to challenge. Challenge the disciples who are less than 3 layers of their own strength and win the reward value. Therefore, in this early morning, there will be so many people around Yankai. Everyone knows to stare at the soft persimmon. The name of Yankai is also famous in the Lingshao Pavilion, not only because he bears the identity of a real trial disciple, but also because he has never been a winner since he entered the Lingshao Gate. Every time someone is challenged, it is the result of defeat. Someone naturally remembers when Yang was challenged last time. Today is the 5th day from the last time. According to the rules, you can challenge him again. For this easy contribution, whoever does not see it, although Win Yang Kai does not contribute much, but one's creatures are small and meek. What's more, it will challenge Yang Kai disciple, and it is not a wealthy and noble person. They will not be too small in their contribution. In the field, Yang Kai and Yo Dingjun have already opened the posture, and they sing, "Please advise." Having said that, anyone knows that Yang Kai is free from being stunned today. When the voice fell, Yang Kai grabbed the attack first, and the thin body broke out with amazing fighting power. He stepped out and made a fist to Yo Dingjun's chest. The attack was simple and direct, and the fist was alive, as if the strength of one was poured into it. This boxing is the long fist that everybody at the bottom of Ling Shaoqi has cultivated. This side of boxing method is not esoteric. It is only used to give physical strength to the disciple. The moves are naturally simple. Yo Dingjun did not panic and smile. It was because his realm was 2 levels higher than Yang Kai. There was no suspense in this battle. When Yang Kai's fist was about to come, he was just like a walk in the air, and his burly body seems to be a bit smart at the moment. The fist dropped his clothes and hit it. He did not hurt Yo Dingjun. Not waiting for Yang to open the boxing, Yo Dingjun had already squatted on Yang Kai's forearm, while his knees were slightly lifted up and Yang's abdomen was in the middle. Yang opened the pouring, first to enter the pin of the heart. The footsteps were wrong, hurriedly withdrew, and dangerously avoided the third strike that Yo Dingjun followed. Well, Yo Dingjun was surprised. He did not expect that his only 3 dear brothers would expect the enemy to take the lead and know how he would deal with him in the next step. He would be disorganized by his own plan to defeat him. However, this small mistake did not affect the overall situation. Chun thought that he would turn around and would like to follow the shadows. He wanted to stop young Priest and completely end the battle. I know that this forfeit has just moved, and young Kai, who is back, has rushed over again. The two figures are approaching quickly. Chun saw the unyielding and high-minded warfare in young Kai's eyes. Young Kai's face was clenched and it was another long boxing. Oops! Chun heard some and knew the other tricks. Although his strength is 2 layers higher than his brother, he cannot say that the combat experience is not as good. But what about the middle matter? Chun is Shenroyan, no longer dodging, but also the color of Donghua. Touching to whisper, young Kai Wei, Chun body said, still standing, his face is somewhat dignified. If this is the same level of opponent, the one that flies out is definitely himself. Others may not know the mystery of these 2 punches, but they are clearly aware of it. His brother's face is even faster than himself. That is to say, he first hit himself and he hit him. However, his face is far less powerful than his own, and he is strong and strong. In contrast, the other side is thin and thin. His body is thin, his face is like a tease. He is obviously malnourished, and his ability to fight is not on a horizontal line. This will happen in front of you. Yes, young inheritance. Chun's heart is not a peace. It is not a good thing to hit earlier than his 2 layers opponent. Although this battle has won, he always feels that some wins are not his. There was a whispering voice next to him. Does this person think he won? Haha, is it that he has never heard of young Kai's name and he ran to challenge? This is really interesting. Chun Pro was a pig. He really didn't know young Kai very well. He often heard people mention his brother. Today, after seeing many people run, he joined in, but did not expect luck to be super good. He was thirdly selected by young Kai. But isn't this a win? It's already an overwhelming advantage to punch the brothers with 1 punch. According to the rules of the ZAC, the other party should also admit defeat, because it's no longer necessary to fight. Come back. When I was thinking about it, young Kai, who flew out and fell to the ground, had already stood up. In the eyes, she was not even discouraged. The war was more intense. After being beaten, it was full of disease. The face has been slightly pale. Not waiting for Chun to answer, young Kai actually rushed over. In the place less than 3 feet away from Chun, his body suddenly shook a little, and his legs swept like a long whip, hitting Chun. Whip's legs. It is also the basic skill that everybody at the bottom of the Lingxiao Pavilion has cultivated. It is only exhibited at this moment through young Kai, and he has made many levels far higher than his counterparts. It is odd that this whip leg can also be kicked like this. Did not wait for everyone's emotion, a soft pain come out. Young Kai flew again. The gap between the 2 levels of the realm and the gap in physical quality made young Kai unable to resist Chun. Chun's feet was hit on young Kai's calf bone. When young Kai stood up again, the pitch was slightly upward. Apparently the bone was injured. Come back. Young opened his teeth and there seems to be a burning flame in his eyes. Touch. Young Kai Wei. Come back. Touch. Young Kai flew again. Some people who cannot pay to watch have left in advance, and some people are embarrassed. This young Kai, this resilience really does not have to say. Which challenge does not stun him, he will never give up. These words were introduced into Yodingchun's ears. He couldn't help but feel bitter. I didn't expect that this challenge was such a crazy opponent. Yankai was kicked out 7 or 8 times. His teeth were swollen, and even his eyelids were plagued out. The pitch was torn. It seemed to be windy and down, but it was still stubborn like a meteorite. From where he fell, he climbed from there, shot and continued to rise forward. Rapidly, Yodingchun finally thinks, "You are crazy? Don't admit defeat to the dead.